Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hoon Dok Hae, together with Reverend Yutaka Yamada. Today is Monday, the 16th of May, or the 16th of April in the 10th year of Hoon Dok. Let's begin by offering a bow to our Heavenly Parent and True Parents. Kyombe. Hello. And let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가족맨세 3. 천일국 주인, 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 진심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 환조권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 3. Our family, the owner of Cheongguk, pledges to perfect the 4 great realms of heart, the 3 great kingships, and the realm of the royal family by centering on true love. I'd like to ask Mary if she could offer the opening prayer, please. Thank you.
Our most beloved Heavenly Parent, we're grateful for this day. We're grateful for the world that you've created for us and for the life that you've given us. We're grateful for our true parents who for the first time in human history fulfilled the role of what the original Adam and Eve failed to do. They've walked an unbelievable course, an unimaginable course. I can't even comprehend how they've been able to do what they've done, but they've done it. And they've been victorious for you, Heavenly Parent. They've been victorious so that all humanity can return to you. Heavenly Parent, we long to come out of this evil satanic world that we've been living in for so many thousands of years, and to see a world of goodness and a world of truth, a world of beauty, and a world of hope, where young people can grow up and be young people and be free in their purity and their dreams to be able to fulfill a beautiful life. Heavenly Parent, we're so grateful that our true parents have fulfilled the conditions that were necessary. And I pray that we can fulfill our own responsibilities together with them to help make this change complete. Heavenly Parent, we thank you and we offer this prayer in the name of Douglas, Mary and Carlos Moriarty, a blessed central family. Adieu.
Adieu. Thank you. And let's offer a warm welcome to Reverend Yutaka as he shares this morning. Thank you.
Good morning, our brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining this morning, Hoon Dok Hae. How are you today? This is also a beautiful morning. Every day the weather is changing, atmosphere is changing, but really, how about your health condition? Let's really adjust well internal health, external health, and let's start the new beginning. So today and this week, there is many good things. Let's create a great day. So thank you for joining this morning. So last weekend, there are many activities. I want to share some photo. So this is from Samoa. So Samoa was organizing something, the Samoa Philippine Association gathering, I think. So they are Reverend Seti family, even one family, but organizing all event. I really appreciate Samoa investment always. And also last weekend, we have a HPHC, the DP, online DP workshop for VIP or youth. So Fiji organized activity together with a physical education, so peer lab seminars. And the last Saturday, this HPHC, I think from Solomon Island, Kiribati PNG, many participants participants also joined together this online HPHC educations. So I really appreciate. Thank you for each nations. And also there's UPF event in Victoria, the education summit, right? So we could see many event, many activity, or many presidential movement is going on. So how we can bring our brothers and sisters and our guests to this opportunity. So really, let's continuously to pray for our brothers and sisters and our guests. Then we will receive some guidance, which activity or which things we should bring this person for our connection with our heavenly parents and true parents. So we could find many kind of way. So let's create and let's do our best. So thank you for all activities. Today, let's start also Hoon Dok. So last weekend, there was a testimony and also Anshi-il. So last Saturday, our Mrs. Catherine gave the testimony. How was that? Did you listen well? Yes, we could see our Mrs. Catherine's life. Really, their special life. I really impressed about the story of example of London subway station, right? There is a way. We can go right way. They can go left way. Anyway, direction is same, but depends on our choice. Our life, our process will be changing. So really, I'm impressed this sharing. So really, Mrs. Catherine's father's generation is really joining the World War. So war environment is not easy situation for everyone. So overcoming was special situation. She also connected to church from early time to meet the Jesus and determine her life to connect for the Jesus and going to all over the world to have many experience and realization. So really, Mrs. Catherine's life have many experience, but also challenging, especially marriage and the blessing. So we could see always invest and really patient and also overcoming. So especially about the family and blessing. Receiving or overcoming is not easy things, but her determination, even I want to offer my life to this nation. So those determination, those heart is really precious and is really 심정. And also finally she said, if younger time, there is no complication, no difficulty. If younger time receive the blessing to go through, these things is how much great, beautiful things. That's why how we can encourage the young people to receive blessing early time before having many situation or complicated things. So I think this family matter or their establishing or blessing matter is really the essential things. How we can receive, how we can create, how we can continue the things is really the essence of our life. There is heaven's wish, there is also heaven's happiness, but that much important. That's why our first generation, really, we have to go through many difficult, challenging way, because Father said we have to the indemnity and have to solve all ancestor problem behalf of them. That's why it looks like my life is difficult from my point of view, but my life is not only because of myself. My life is because of my parents, my grandparents, my ancestors, and we have to pay indemnity. We have to solve everything for the next generation, behalf of family, behalf of tribe, behalf of our nation and the world. That's why even we have many challenging situations in our life, but surely there is heaven's blessing, heaven's guidance, and heaven's heart. So really we could see how we can spend the precious life in each place which are given by God and Heavenly Parents. Then we can create the new future. So anyway, thank you, our Mrs. Catherine, to share your beautiful testimony. We can really always go together with our Heavenly Parents and true parents. And yesterday it was also Anshil, Reverend Santos share about the Fiji activity. Now our brother Barami and the Iris inherited and go together. So we could see each nation or mission country. There are many foundations which are prepared the formal missionary in each place. So because of their investment in Johnson, we could continue this current and also the future providence. Now is a special time period together with our True Mother. So totally unite with True Mother and to create great harvest and offer the victory to our Heavenly Parents and true parents. Now he is in Philippines and doing always online and offline. So I appreciate also Reverend Santos to share and your investment. So anyway, thank you very much. So last week for your precious sharing. So today let's continue our True Mother's anthology. Now True Mother is sharing about the mission of Japan as the mother's nations, especially now, the time when true parents alive on this earth. This time period is the historical transition, most important time period. And Mother said, our life on this earth is so short time, just 100 years. During this time period, how we can fulfill my responsibility and mission, how our nation can fulfill our mission and responsibility. This is really important things. So this one last part, Mother said, now having attended to the parents, we have entered a new era. But is it enough if only we are happy? Isn't our goal to open a happy kingdom of heaven on earth and in heaven, and attend to the parents and our Heavenly Parent together with our neighbors, our nations, and the world? That's why how we can share this message to our brothers and sisters, our tribe and nation and world. This is really important things. So let's continue next part. So Dr. Jacinta, please read.
The mother's mission is to guide the children in the world to true parents. In the fallen world, Eve's mission is to find the sons and daughters who have gone wrong because of her and bring them to the presence of the Messiah, the true parents. It is the mission of Japan, the Eve nation, to fulfill that responsibility. That is why Japan needs to unite with Korea. Eve alone is not enough. She needs Adam. Adam and Eve must be one and fulfill their responsibility to true parents. You need to bear in mind that it was true parents who blessed you and thus enabled you to carry out that task. For Japan to survive as a nation respected by the world, it needs to uphold true parents' will and fulfill its mission as Eve.
Yes, thank you very much. Mother said the mother's mission is to guide the children in the world to true parents. So Mother is giving those messages to Japan as the mother's nation. So what kind of mission of mother should we fulfill? So as the providential nation of the father's nation and mother's nation, the unification between Japan, Korea and Japan is also important. So Mother now is leading the providence. Of course, when we see the secular world or society, there are many conflict, battle or struggling in between Korea and Japan. But Mother is leading the heavenly providence and proclaim that heavenly Korea and heavenly Japan and as the able figure of the world and to guide the nation centering on true parents and to creating the providence. So we could see True Mother is really investing a lot. There is 5 regions in Korea. There is also 5 regions in Japan. So Mother always connected the both regions in both nations and to organize the same event. through those programs, Yamada try to establish the unity between Japan, Korea and Japan, and father nation and mother nation, and to let them stand as the parents of the world. So Mother is emphasizing about those missions. Okay, please read.
True parents chose Japan as the mother nation. What a great blessing that is. The reason it could be chosen as the mother nation without paying indemnity is that true parents did it on Japan's behalf.
Okay, please continue.
Then what attitude should you and Japan assume toward the providence? When Korea, which is geographically close by, is the father nation, then Japan becomes the mother nation. A family lives in harmony only when the mother and father are united. This father and mother I have mentioned just now should embrace all children in the fallen world and bring them to the presence of true parents. Since fallen human beings have inherited Satan's lineage, they need to go through a conversion of lineage through true parents. God and Japan are the nations that should help humanity to attend heaven under the grace of true parents.
Yes, thank you very much. So there is the role and mission as Korea, as Japan, as the parents nation. So Mother said, this father and mother I have mentioned just now should embrace all children in foreign world and bring them to the presence of true parents. Since fallen human beings have inherited Satan's lineage, they need to go through a conversion of lineage through true parents. That's why Mother is emphasizing, of course, emphasizing about the mission of Japan and Korea and the parents, but our mission also same, how we can bring the all children to heavenly parents and true parents to change the lineage. So Mother is continuously emphasizing. And also Mother is, true parents may have given that special message in each nation. That's why we should understand or learn what is really the heaven's mission to my country, our country, and our region. Okay, please read.
We must find the hometown that our Heavenly Parent wishes to see. Where is our Heavenly Parent's hometown? It is true parents' hometown. Japan and Korea must become one to support the path toward the unification of the fatherland, that is, the unification of North and South Korea. When this happens, true parents will stand in the central position before humankind, and all things will arrange themselves naturally. Human dilemmas over the problems of religion, politics, ideology, and borders will be resolved. You have to stand at the forefront on this path.
Yes, thank you very much. So in order to solve the world problem, what kind of things is needed? Mother mentioned that we need to have the central position or central person or central figure. That's why Mother is mentioning that we have to restore the nation of Korea as the father nation, mother nation, and our homeland, our central place. So this nation, why Mother is emphasized always about heavenly unified Korea, heavenly unified world. Those things is not just coming to as the providence, how we can establish the central nation of the world. That's why Mother is mentioning that. Mother said that is the unification of North and South Korea. When this happens, true parents will stand in the central position before humankind, and all things will arrange themselves naturally. Human dilemmas over the problems of religion, politics, ideology, and borders will be resolved. That's why if we could establish the central nation, their unification between North and South Korea, all nation will be resolved naturally. So each nation is not really investing the providence to guiding the people, educating the people in order to fulfill heavenly unified Korea and heavenly unified world. So what is really heaven's wish to my nation? What is really heaven's wish to my place? Through praying, through realizing then we can contribute more for Korea and contribute more for the world. So what is the mission for Korea? What is mission for Japan? What is mission for America? What is mission for our nation? So through fulfilling those missions, we fulfill to liberate God. We fulfill to liberate our true parents, and we fulfill to liberate our all human beings, and we will go forward. So really, Yamada is emphasizing our mission of Japan, Korea, but in the same time, also emphasizing to fulfill our mission in each country. So let's connect with Mother's heart and fulfill those missions together. So next, I want to share about word of Cheonsongyeon. So word of Cheonsongyeon, now Father is mentioning about the creation of God. So God didn't create just by simple way, only by word. God invested all things which he had and invested for object partners' best happiness. So we should understand the life process and history of God's investment and God's creation. So let's see the next part. Please read.
In order to create all things, God had to pour out his very essence. That is, he invested a great deal of energy. This could have depleted his energy and resulted in God suffering a loss. Yet he created the world with love to be his object partner, and he devoted himself to fulfilling this purpose. His investment was not to bear fruit in himself, but rather in his partner.
Yes, thank you very much. So this creation process was not happen without any investment. Father said, in order to create all things, God had to pour out his very essence. That is, he invested a great deal of energy. So why we miss God? Why really appreciate and missing our parents? Because there is already investment of life to each of us. That's why we miss God. That's why we miss our parents, even physical parents. When we raise up our children, when we do the witnessing, is also same. How much do we invest? How much do we give of our essence, our heart, our energy, and our effort? Depends on our result of investment, result will be decided. So my father said, his investment was not to bear fruit in himself, but rather in his partner. So God is actually showing the model course, how we can love the people, how we can really invest for the people, how we can really raise up and create the fruits for our object partners. So we could see the God's example. Please read.
Since God created with love, even though he fully invested himself, he did not feel diminished. Rather, he felt satisfied. This became a principle, and this essence of parental love became the tradition. God's total self-investment meant that he was not conscious of himself as he worked. He was so immersed in pursuing the purpose of his partner that he completely forgot himself. In the end, God wants to live for the sake of the human beings whom he created. This is the basic principle of creation.
Thank you very much. Father said, since God created with love, even though he fully invested himself, he did not feel diminished. Rather, he felt satisfied. This became a principle, and this essence of parental love became the tradition. So the happiness, the principle to create happiness through investment, even lose my power, even lose my energy, but through investment, people can feel the happiness. This is the great principle. So God established this kind of the beautiful principle. This itself is actually the blessing for ourselves. Father said he was so immersed in pursuing the purpose of his partner, that he completely forget himself. This is actually God. So we could see God's nature and God himself. Okay, please read.
In the world of physics, the input is greater than the output, but in the world of love, the input is less than the output. Because this principle applies on the horizontal plane, the universe exists forever. Consumption depletes everything, but because of its constant motion, the energy of love that is invested without limit is not consumed or depleted. Rather, it is expanded.
Yes, thank you very much. So this is very important part. I will read the first part again. In the world of physics, the input is greater than the output, but in the world of love, the input is less than the output. Because this principle applies on the horizontal plane, the universe exists forever. So why this world is developing continuously? Why this world is expanding continuously? Because of this principle of love. So input is less than, input is bigger than, input is less than output, right? Yes. Because of this principle, our world is continuously developing. And I want to add one more thing. There is principle, but in the same time, there is the person who is practicing this principle. That's why our world is also developing. Even God created this providence principle, but if no one do this principle, what's happened? Also doesn't happen anything. So our parents and our people of the society, people in the history, and especially our heavenly parents himself is practicing this principle to develop, to love to the world. That's why we could see how we can develop and how this principle itself is really beautiful. So please read.
Thus, God's existence is perpetuated based on love. The universe maintains its existence eternally through this continuous circular motion. Therefore, from the family to the tribe, from the tribe to the nation, and from the nation to the world, everything expands on the same basis and with the same value. Thus, all people in the universe will be in agreement, like unto a single human brain, and we will be able to build the ideal world, the realm of total oneness in unity and peace.
Okay, thank you very much. This is the last slide. So when we see the development process of true love, we could see the whole process, how this world is developing, centering on the principle of true love, and this continue to expand forever. And these things is done by our heavenly parents. So when we fulfill, when we practice this principle of love, and when we really understand the meaning of the principle of love, this is the way where we should go, and this is the way how we should go. God is living this way, and our true parents is showing us to live for this way, and we can learn, and we can reflect, and we can also practice together. So that's why the output of love is bigger than input of love. We heard these things many times. Then do you have this experience? Have you done or have you experienced this principle in our life? This is really important things. Please reflect yourself. Father is explaining this principle. Input, the output is bigger than input. But can you realize this principle, or do you have this experience in our life? So today, Father is explaining those life element and this kind of the principle of our life. So each moment we are going to the God's providence, we are living on this earth, but we have to learn the principle, and we have to we have to practice, and we have to experience, to share God's love, God's heart, and really God's 심정. So today we are sharing about through Mother's word and through Father's word. So in order to fulfill God's will, in order to create together with object partner, its important things is to practice our principle of true love. So surely there are many kind of love is coming back, depends on our investment, right? And this expansion, this development is unlimited. So this principle is actually beautiful, great things. So through our daily life, through our new life of this week, let's practice, let's find the heart, let's experience together with our heavenly parents and true parents. So thank you for joining today's morning Hoon Dok Hae. This week is a great time. Let's all have the victory to our heavenly parents, true parents. Thank you very much once again. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. Thank you very much, Reverend Yutaka, for sharing with us and bringing to light our true parents' words and how we can apply it to our lives. Just reflecting on that, that when we have that 100% investment and love, that becomes like a process of synergy, where the result is always greater than the input. So that's our way that God works by, and that's how growth and development works. Open it up to others who'd like to share. Thank you. Yes, Mary, go ahead.
Yeah, I just love True Father's words. In the world of physics, the input is greater than the output. But in the world of love, the input is less than the output. I just think there's just beautiful words and so inspiring. And I just wish so many scholars around the world could read these words to help them in their ability to be able to present in whatever they're doing to help others to understand more deeply. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Wright, go ahead.
Good morning. Yesterday I missed Hoon Dok. Yesterday, I wake up 2-3 o'clock. The next time I wake up 6:30, and my wife really, oh, what a time you wake up 6:30. And sorry, I missed the Santosh testimony. And just today, I think just also Mary mentioned also like world of love. It is incredible, like magical and incredible. It's more than great. And then we have a happy family, even a young happy family. They give a lot of hope to many. And so good tribe is give a so good influence to nation, a strong nation. But when think about like Russia and many Soviet Union had a superpower, it's a dictatorship. The people living that way. Then after Soviet collapsed, looking for, I think, this kind of culture. It's a Western culture and freedom and strong families and tribe, like this kind of, building a healthy nation, but did not happen back to the dictatorship. People are comfortable dictatorship, not building a principled way. I think that's why that nation did not successfully build the nation. I think that's why they do this kind of things. And I pray for that, for that. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Ryan. Go ahead. Greg Hansen, go ahead.
Good morning. Yes, like Mary was saying, like the interesting concept of this input and output, and I think Father also uses that as a way of explaining the creative process rather than evolution. But I'm just trying to formulate my words here, because Father explains like in the creative process, when God created, then he put a lot of input because of love into his creation, and so then creation could move on to a higher level. But despite putting in all his, like Reverend Yamada explained, like this, his essence, his effort, his heart, his focus, his concentration. I like that so much because it explains like how we can give our 100% investment. What is investment? If we have to put in this concentration and heart effort and our energy, for essence. But God pouring out his energy and his input in this case led to a great output, you know, it led to a higher level of creation. So I think in science, I think, is it the Metazoic era when suddenly lots of new forms of life were discovered in the fossils, and meaning that they didn't evolve out of something in the past, they suddenly came new. Is it the Mesozoic era? I forget the name exactly, but Metazoic. So I'm just very interested that Father explains this input-output experience in the form of evolution, that there had to be this input of extra love and intelligence to create a bigger output, although it seems counter to the thoughts that we're talking about now. But anyway, that's just my reflection. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you. Yes, Chris, go ahead.
Okay, just to add some thought to this philosophical discussion here. God is the source of all energy, all love, everything we know. And yet, when he gives everything, love even expands for him. So where did it come from? We naturally think that when we do God's will and we do the principle and we act principally and we live on love, we get more love because it comes from God. But God actually receives more love too. That's the interesting thing. Even though he's the source of everything, this system is set up, even expands love for him. So naturally, you should think that when love flows down from the top should diminish because that's the source. But that's not what he's saying. He's saying that even at the source, love increases. So there's a philosophical question for you.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Thank you. Yes, Kim, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess it depends how you look at love. Is love something that's sort of a thing, or is love is a process or a relationship? And relationships can expand infinitely. But if it's a thing, it's probably limited. So as much as there's give and take and between subject, object, partner, then it's always going to increase. So my question from the very beginning of the church, I used to ask Reverend Sudo, yeah, but what's love? What's love? It's still not clear to me, because we talk about it like it's something somewhere, but it's actually a sort of relationships, and the relationships that bring joy and beauty. So those can expand infinitely, because it's not a something that came from somewhere. It's something that's constantly growing. Yeah.
Thanks, Kim. Yes, Tsuneko, go ahead.
I just today's father's word is always, even nation's mission, few weeks, then I to realize that because today father said we must find the hometown that our heavenly parent wish to see. Mean always father talk about hometown. That is parent day, and that love is perpetuate to continue to everybody know that. I mean, even people not knowing about God, but still parental love is it's continue to develop. Even input is smaller, but output is bigger to own children. Then what to say? Yeah, yesterday I just really felt it. Mr. I doing, even though 75, all members to give it to barbecue. He bought everything because we're organized. But he doing that even though eldest in the group. But I felt it so much organized also, and I thought yesterday barbecue is really good creation. Dog day because I bring dog, noisy dog, but still happy to as a dog. And this park is nearby church, and a lot of people there, but so harmonious family, and we also around 20 people harmoniously to center point Daniel Meadows family, and that is I felt it so satisfaction. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Suniko. Yes, Revenita, go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much about this lecture and Father's Word about the principle of love. I think emotional element make like a motivation. This is a very, it's a universal, original one is emotional one, not, something other. So this is a really amazing discovery, and why our movement expand so quickly, because this investment, make a principle of love. Father know very well. That's why father always invest, and through mother also. And even anytime, even they, very tired, always investment, because they know deeply this principle of love centering upon God. Yeah, I think this is a really great thing, great discovery, and we must more invest more insight about this principle. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Revenita. Thank you. Yes, go ahead, Rex, and then Silvana after.
Yeah, yes. Thank you, Uncle John and Reverend Yutaka. So anyway, through parent word, but I just take it in the sense of give and take. Input is when we give, output when the receiving coming. So in a sense that we need just in Father said in the physical world that the input it's bigger than the output, but in terms of love, so when we invest, like we are just giving away our energy, all this, but in return it comes in a bigger way. So that's how I see it. And also, as the other day, I just informed that I will have the 40 years University of our Unification, the Solomon yesterday, but because yesterday also it coincided with the United Day of Families. So we decided that we will celebrate our university as we plan it much bigger much bigger and invite some guests. Then we just only celebrated the UN, their family. So it's okay. But anyway, I thought it was yesterday, but the celebration we do it a bit after we meet, we plan it in a good way. Yeah. So that was, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Rex. Go ahead, Silvana.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, the same sentence hit everybody this morning. But I'm thinking that even though the output is bigger than the input, we don't necessarily see that when we're investing. And just before that, True Father said that God's investment was not to bear fruit in himself, but in his partner. And he completely forgot himself. And so I think as a fallen person, on and off, I get very tired spiritually. And this is, and then I think, because I'm working too much, I'm giving out too much. It's not true. It's because I'm not forgetting myself, because I'm thinking about myself. Somewhere along the line, I'm missing the point that the output can be bigger only if I forget myself in giving. It's, for me, it's quite a key point, because that's I think why fallen people, especially myself, we go like this, up and down, up and down. It's a good lesson, a good reminder to, yeah, just a good reminder to not think about myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Silvana. Yes, Catherine, go ahead.
I don't think we realize we just give a little bit of love and how much comes back. I'm a caregiver looking after elderly people, keeping them in their homes. And recently one of my clients passed away. And I've been with this family for about 12 years. And they had a private funeral, and I was invited to the funeral. And it was amazing. Their grandchildren and their great-grandchildren, the cousins and that, all came, when they found out my name, they all came up and said, thank you so much for taking care of these people. And you don't realize what you're doing and how much you just give to the people. You look after them, and they obviously have spoken to the rest of the family, and how it does expand with the little things that you do. You don't realize what you do and how it does expand out bigger and bigger. And it comes back to you in the end. You find these little things that you didn't know about. Even if it was just doing the grocery shopping for them, or just doing something, making them a cup of tea, and how they appreciated those little things. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you. Yeah, we have time for one more reflection, or one more thought. As Elise this time.
Yeah, I can't have. Yeah, it's very interesting, really, because at the moment I'm reflecting very much about my dad's life, him being an artist, and I want to write a presentation about him in order to sell his art. But he was one of those people who gave constantly. I mean, and for me, growing up with him, it was very confusing, actually. And only now I can see actually what an incredible example he gave me. That because even he gave things away. his last shirt, more or less, to everybody else. But it always came back. And he had the tendency then always to say, okay, anyway, give it to my daughter. He didn't, he refused constantly to take things. It was so difficult for him to take things. So and now reflecting about his life, actually, I can, I feel what a legacy actually he left in me, or what he planted in me, but because it was so difficult for him emotionally to invest in me, because I always felt the only love that he has goes into his art. This is actually his children. This is art. And I felt there was always this competition. But this was, and my mother always said, not the only one actually your dad loves is you. I mean, but so it, anyway, but I struggled my whole life really about that fact, to understand God. But if it comes to it, it's nothing to do with our intellect, with an understanding. You know, if we are hurt, then we close down, and it's difficult to open up again until somebody comes and really embraces to that extent that you just melt away. And then you give again. Anyway, so I agree with Silvana very much what she said, because it's very much reflects also my life. But anyway, thank you very much for this, because this is finally, so, you know, everything is always opening up. And also what Chris said, yes, it's true. God is our source of love. And unless we really ask God for guidance, you know, God can't give us guidance, because this is our part to actively really connect with God. Anyway, this is what I want to realize. So in that sense, I'm really grateful to my dad now. And I repent that we couldn't have more artistic relationship. Even he constantly was there for us, my mother and myself. I mean, he didn't go anywhere. But because he was, then when he, from the spirit world, then he, after he died, he told me how he felt in a straitjacket in the spirit world. He just couldn't, even in his life, he was so generous and constantly giving. Anyway, sorry.
Thank you, Elise. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's time now for us to offer our unison prayer. So I'll just share the screen. Let's pray together. Adieu, adieu, adieu. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day and see you all tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. John.
Nice hair, Catherine.
Bye-bye.